it's Jeannie Blaha. Take a walk with your angels and joyflames.com. Welcome to your July. How did June go for you? Did you find out that you had to exit something perhaps and that you just weren't vibing with whatever it was anymore? Or did you find that maybe you had to stay in it a little bit longer just to get some closure, get some things resolved maybe, so that you wouldn't be leaping it into your next chapter of things, whether it's regarding personal or business and etc. Yeah, there's gonna be lots of new leaps here for sure, and June was a big one for that, for people coming to that place of, I don't think I can do this anymore, not like this, and I still want to keep moving forward, so I'm going to allow myself to leap on out of here. So anyway, so moving into July then, what does this mean? If you've either left things or didn't leave things alone or with yourself, here we are in July. And what are those in the quantum saying? This is the month of surrender. How about that? So here's the interesting thing about surrender. People assume that means that you just kind of raise your flag and you give up and you end up with hopelessness, or you decide that there's nothing you can do about something. It's out of your hands, you don't have a choice, etc. Actually, the etymology of the word surrender means to give over and to hand over. So what is July looking for as far as that goes? You could think of it as giving it up too, but it's about deciding this month of July 2019 that it's not all on your shoulders. You don't have to figure it all out. You aren't in the position of having to take care of everything. And here are a couple signs to check in to see if you're thinking that way. How tight are your shoulders? How tight is your neck? Neck is the rigid thought stuff. Shoulders are, it's all on me. The world is on me, so so yes, I do get emphatic about this stuff to help you see that sometimes we have to chuckle about this stuff and really start to giggle about the things where we keep ourselves small and we hold ourselves back. And the surrendering aspect that they're mentioning on the quantum is to get out of our own way. A lot of times, most times, 99% of the time, it's about quitting on the carrying it all ourselves type of thing and deciding, hold on, we can give this on over. We can determine that there's help available for us. The universe does support us. There are voices that can chime in, either in or out of form, to assist us with some of these things that we face, that we think, how are we going to get through this? Guess what? It's not all on you to get through it. It's not on any of us to get through it all by ourselves. So if we really want to jump into that land of oneness, we have to realize, hey, part of that is being able to put it out there, whatever your intention is, to get something resolved, to get a solution to something, to hear the answers, is to really equate that to assistance and the fact that we're all connected. We're all moving as one collective through a lot of these quantum leaps. You can hear my husky chiming in there. So even the dogs are part of us, right? The horses, everything. July, yes. Think about where you might need to let something go, hand it over, especially for anything where it feels like there's nothing you can do about it. There's no way you can resolve it. There's no solution at this time. It could be that you feel that you're stuck in a mortgage, you're stuck renting in a certain spot, or you have a job that you can't leave because you can't seem to be able to connect the dots to where you really desire to go. It may be that there's a relationship aspect where no matter where you're going with your current mates or your future mate, your past mates, there's always this hub of just a lot of consternation, a lot of strife, challenge, where you're not really feeling like you're moving together in an empowered way, surrendering it over. So again, surrender is not, oh, I give up, I'm just going to be a victim of my circumstance. It is not that at all. It's actually getting your ego out of the way. Because the ego tries to tell you that you have to have everything yourself, you have to take care of it yourself, there's no help, there's nobody to assist you. Many years ago, I remember talking to somebody dear about this, and she point blank told me that she had run into it so many times that she had reached out for help, and it just wasn't there to meet her, so she had given up on that. And she was only 40 to 50 years old at the time. I thought, another 50 years of feeling like there's no help available for you? So it's the ego that actually gets in there and says, you don't deserve to be helped. You don't deserve to have people reach out to you, there can be miraculous solutions that pop in that have everything to do with empowering everybody, that everybody is winning at the same time. So allow for that. Allow for the fact that, hey, you know what? The phone could ring. There could be something that comes to me in an email that suggests something I had not thought of. It wasn't even on my radar at all. And allow that to be. So what does that take? It takes, some people call it faith. I don't really go into that dimension because there's so much hang up around sourcing outside of yourself. You don't have to. If you don't want to and you feel like, no, that feels like I'm, being a victim and I'm leaning on some other superpower or whatever, you can come back to yourself and just tune into your essential self and say, self, now would be a good time to have some answers flying my way. And I'm seeing already this month of July where these very unexpected solutions are coming in just because those involved said, let's just give this over and decide we don't have to come up with every solution. We don't have to come up with every answer. We don't have to have it on our shoulders. Because again, you make room for these other answers that you may not have considered that are so much better than what you'd come up with so far. So just let that be, sit that around a little bit and consider, where are things a little locked up? Where are they a little bit tied up? Where do you feel just like things are stuck a bit? And see where that apparently Garcon wants to be in the video. Good job. And he's obviously then in the acquiescence of that, of allowing support, allowing the love to come in, allowing people to step in and say, you know what, I gotcha. I can take care of this for you, or I can do this with you. Let's do this. I've been feeling like I don't have my purpose in alignment, and actually helping you is helping me to direct it that way a bit more. So again, every time that you allow in assistance, it's a huge blessing to the universe, to those in form and out of form, because when we pass on, we're not giving up our purpose. We're in a continuum. And so when you ask for this assistance and you say, okay, this is the time, I need it right now, this would be really good, you are leaping into those realms and connecting those dots and allowing those dots to be connected so that these unexpected, fantastic, extraordinary solutions can come your way. So that's July for you, my friends. It is about surrendering, giving it all up, and getting into the freedom of that, feeling the freedom of that lift off. And then watch what happens within about 15 days, and sometimes the first day that you do it. It can take 10 minutes if you really let it happen. And if you like the words, I'm going to let this go, I'm going to totally hand this over and let this go, use that. If surrender has a heavier frequency state to you, don't use it. Use something else that feels more like a freedom. Because we are all essentially free. So it's about returning to that and realizing that every time we hang on and try to do everything ourselves and handle everything else ourselves, what we're doing is cutting off the flow. We're actually jumping out of the vortex of the flow that's nature to us, to the assistance, to the ability to have things unexpected happen your way that you're like, oh my God, how did that line up like that? But it's perfect, right? What happens? The ego gets out of the way. As soon as you say, I'm letting this go, I'm gonna hand this over and let all the powers that be, including those in form, to have some ideas, have some solutions. All right, see what July does for you with that. All right, love you lots. This is Jeannie Blaha out of Colorado with Take a Walk with Your Angels and enjoyflames.com. Thank you for watching.